Hey, what's up? Welcome to another video. My name is Stephanie, and today I'm going to show you how to make classic size monthly boxes for your happy planner with the notch cut out for the date. So you have a planner and you have the date in the corner so that it fits in there with the date still visible. I'll show you a couple of ways to do that, and I'm going to show you how to do it so that you have this overprint on it, so that no matter how wonky your Cricut cuts your sticker, you won't have any of the white border around it. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my computer. I am using a Mac, using Cricut Design Space. So I'll go ahead and switch over. All right, and I have my window open, so if you hear bird sounds and plane sounds, that's why. But I've done this video so many times, I don't want to edit anymore, so I'm just gonna get this done. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is make a background sheet for my stickers for me to attach my offsets to. So I'm going to go to shapes. I'm going to choose this square with the rounded corners, and I'm going to make it print then cut. I'm going to make it white so we don't use any ink on it. And then I'm going to click this lock right here. I'm going to make it the biggest size I can, which also happens to fit nicely in on classic size planner discs. Make the height 9.25. All right, so this is going to be my background sheet. If you're going to want to punch this and put it on discs, then you need to leave enough room over here to be able to do that. I have created my own sheet that has my handle on it. All I did was I added a rectangle over here and made it a solid color, and then put a text box in here with my name on it. Sometimes I add like what the sheet of stickers is for, like Halloween stickers or whatever, as well. So I'm going to go ahead, I have the perfect amount of space over here, like where the flat part starts, to be able to add my disc punch there. So I'm going to go ahead and use my sheet that I made. So let's go ahead and start making the monthly boxes. So we're going to go to shapes. We're going to choose a square. You can use the rounded corner if you want. I'm going to make this print then cut, and I'm going to do gray because I can always use some gray stickers. Okay, we're going to keep this square so we don't have to undo the lock button, but I'm going to make it 1.563 because when I measured the monthly boxes in my classic happy planner, that was the size I got. It's rounded a little bit. I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this twice because I'm going to need at least 2 more boxes. All right, I'm going to get another box. I'm going to make it an obnoxious color just so it's not gray. And I'm going to make this box 0.4 inches wide. That's the size I think is pretty good for cutting out a notch to go around the number on the monthly boxes, with taking the least amount of space. So it's kind of hard to line it up. So I'm going to put it over there in the corner, but then I'm going to select both of these boxes. I'm going to go to align left, and align top. And then I'm going to make sure it's all selected, and I'm going to go down here in the right corner to slice. It might take a minute. Here it goes. All right, so now I have this box with a little corner cut out, and it's also going to give me a little small box here. I'm just going to delete that. So now I'm going to put white in here. You could put any color you want in the center, like a lighter gray if you want that look. I'm just going to do white. So I'm going to take this box and I'm going to make it white. And I'm going to send this back box to the back. I'm going to right click, which is the 2-finger click on a Mac laptop, and send it to the back. And then this needs to be smaller, obviously. I found that if I make it 0.2 inches smaller than the outer box, then that seems to be a good size. So I'm going to make it 1.363. So that looks like a good size. And now I'm going to slice this one as well. It seems to work the best if you make this box smaller first, use the same size cutout to make the notch. So I'm going to align left and align top, and then I'm going to go to the bottom here and go to slice, and now I have that inner box. I can get rid of this little white box it made. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to align and center these two and hit attach. So right now, with just attaching these two, you're going to end up cutting around this outer part of the box, and you're going to cut this inner box. We don't want that. So we're also going to go over here and hit flatten. So now it is only going to cut around this outside edge. Now what we want to do is we want to make an offset around the edge so that we eliminate the possibility of getting that any white around the outside edge of this when it cuts. So I'm going to take this box over here and let's make it 0.2 inches bigger. That's probably a little big. Maybe 0.6. That's pretty good. Okay, and now we're gonna do the same thing. Slice out this corner. Make sure that it's aligned on the left and the top. And then we're going to go down here and hit slice. All right, so now we have this little corner we don't need. And we're going to right click and send it to back. And then this will sit on top of it, and this will cut out and leave a little bit of gray behind on our page. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that background, move it over here. I'm going to send my page to the back and arrange this here. And I'm going to duplicate it 4 more times. And just line them up here. I'm gonna make this pretty later. So I'll show you how I do that all at once I have everything on here. Okay, so let's move on to making the other kind of box I'm going to show you how to make. Stick this guy up here. So let's get another square and we'll make it print then cut, and we'll make it the same gray. going to zoom in a little bit. Make it the correct size of just 1.563. And I'm going to duplicate it twice. And I'm going to take my little square over here, and it's going to need to be bigger this time. So let's increase it by 1 and rotate it 45 degrees. Oops. I think it probably needs to be even bigger. Let's send this to the back so that we can kind of line up the corners here. You can't really use the align tools for this. That looks pretty good. It looks like we're right at the corner here and here. So now I'm going to select all of it and go to slice. And so now we're gonna have this piece that we really don't need anymore, and this little corner that we really don't need. So now we have our basic box. All right, so now I'm going to make the center white part. It's really the same process that I used before. We're going to make this white, and we're going to make it 0.2 inches smaller, so 0.363. And I'm going to slice the corner. We can use the align tools now. Align left, align top, and then we're going to hit slice. So now we have this inner box. This is a little wide here. If it bothers you, you can play with the size of the slice you're taking out to kind of fix that. Let's go ahead and select the 2 and center it and hit attach and flatten. And now we're going to make the offset that goes around it. So we're going to make this 1.663. And we'll do the slicing. So let's align. Oops, we got a little piece here. Delete that. All right, so align left, align top, and then we're going to go to slice. And now we have that outer piece. So let's delete this little corner thingy. I really don't need that anymore. All right, and let's put this over here. Move this over. Remember, we're not cutting all the way to the edge, so you can have a really small gap between your boxes and it won't matter. All right, let's duplicate this 4 times. And just kind of line them up. Oops, I grabbed the wrong one. We'll make it pretty later. Now let's make some smaller boxes. So let's go to shapes, select a square, make it print then cut, and we'll change it to our gray. And this one is going to be 1.563. And then I'm going to hit this lock button because I want to change the height to 1. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate it twice. Let's zoom in here a little bit. So now I'm going to take this box, I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to make it 1 point. I'm gonna first hit this lock button. I always forget to do that. And then I'm going to make it 0.2 inches smaller, so 1.363. And then I'm going to make this 0.2 inches smaller as well, the height, so 0.8. So now this is going to fit nicely in this box. So we're going to select it, align, center, so we make sure it's perfectly in the center, and hit attach and flatten down here. All right, so now we have another monthly box size. We're going to make its little offset here 0.1 bigger all the way around. So I'm going to hit this lock and make it 1.663, and then we'll do 1.1, and then this will fit nicely on top. If you might find that if your Cricut's cutting really far off, you might need to make this offset bigger. But I think that'll be okay for me. So I'm gonna move it over to my page. And I have a lot more room over here. I could put some skinny boxes over here, or I could make some bullets or something to fill the space. Let's duplicate this 4 times. And line these all up over here. Then I'm just going to make some smaller ones. So I'm going to go to shapes, get my square again, make it print then cut, make it my gray. And now I'm going to make it even like a really skinny box. So I'm going to hit this lock button. I'm going to make the width 1.563. And the height is going to be 0.5. So now we have a really skinny box. I'm going to duplicate it twice. And I'm going to make this one the white inner part. Change it to white. Undo this lock up here, make it 1.363. And the height is going to be 0.3. All right, and then I'm going to center those and attach and flatten, so it's all one piece. Then I'm going to take the offset. I'm going to hit the lock button. I'm going to make it 0.1 inches bigger all the way around. So now we have our little offset. So I'm going to bring it over to my page. And I think I can fit 5 of them in here. Maybe squish these a little more. Okay, now I'm going to make this look pretty. So I'm going to move the background so that I can select things. I'm going to select all the top boxes and align on the top. Then I'm going to select all the bottom boxes and hit align on the bottom. Align bottom. And then I'm going to select all these left ones and I'm going to choose align left. And I'm going to hit this distribute vertically button so that they're all evenly spaced. Now I'm going to do the same for this next set. Align left and distribute vertically. Now it's not going to work. The distribute vertically isn't going to work for this line because they're different sizes. So I'm going to select these guys and they're a little close over here. So I'm going to hit align right. You also choose align center. And I'm going to select these size boxes and do align distribute vertically. And I'm going to select these ones and do the same thing. So now they're all evenly spaced and look really pretty. So let's bring our background back over here and make sure they line up, or they all fit on the page. If any of these little corners are sticking off, when you go to make it, it's not going to let you do it. It's going to say your project is incompatible. All right, so I duplicated all of my boxes over here to the amount that I need. And I'm going to select all of this, my page. I'm going to attach. So now it's going to cut out all these little squares. And we don't want to do that. I mean, you could do that, but you're just using your Cricut blade and wearing it out. So we're going to flatten it so that this is all one piece now. Okay, and then I'm going to take all of my squares after I right click and send this to the back. And I'm going to line up all my little squares just as best as I can over here. Okay, and now I'm going to move the background out of the way. I'm going to line all these up nicely. So align top, going to take the bottom ones and align bottom. And then I'm going to take each section here, align, we'll do horizontally. And then I'm going to choose distribute vertically to make sure they're all evenly spaced. Now I'll select these middle ones and do the same thing. Now these side ones, I'm not going to be able to do the distribute vertically because they're different size boxes and it's going to stack them all funny. So let's do align horizontally. And then I'm going to select just these top guys and align distribute vertically. And I'm going to do the same thing for these bottom ones. Okay, so now they should fit pretty nicely within our offsets here. You can kind of look at them and see if any of them look like they're off, but I think that looks pretty good. So now we're going to select our whole page and we're going to do attach. Do not do flatten. If you do flatten, all it's going to do is cut around the outside. We don't need this little corner thingy anymore, so we can get rid of that. And the last thing I'm going to do is, so I have this set to kiss cut these so that you can pull the sticker off and there's still the backing behind it. But I want it to cut out my whole outer page and, you know, have it cut all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another square box. I'm going to undo this lock up here and I'm going to make this the same width as this. So 6.75 by 9.25, and then I'm going to duplicate it I found that if it goes around the whole edge of this 3 times, it will cut all the way through. So I'm going to move these over here. I'm going to right click and send them to the back. And then I'm going to select all of it, align, center. Then I'm going to attach. Do not flatten, because if you flatten it, it just makes it all one piece again. We want it to be 3 separate cuts around the outside. So only do attach. Okay, so that's it. We're going to go to make it. Continue. We're going to send to printer. We're going to turn off add bleed, use system dialog, and print. Now it always brings the printer dialog box up behind. I'm going to choose best, and I'm going to choose feed for my rear tray because that's where I have my sticker paper. And then we're going to go to print. So now I've printed and I'm ready to have the Cricut cut my project. I have mine set to vinyl. I've heard other people say that they use, I guess there's a washi setting, and right now vinyl seems to be the best setting for me to kiss cut. It might be because my blade is getting old and it needs more pressure. Okay, so now I have the sheet on my mat, and my mat's really dirty. I need a new one, but I'm going to load it into the Cricut machine and then hit the Cricut button. And it's going to cut out my project. Alright, so now I have my sheet all cut out, and this outer piece I can just get rid of. And my mat isn't very sticky anymore, but the easiest way to get things off of your sheet without them being all curled is to turn it over and pull the cutting mat off instead of your project. Alright, so now they look like they're cut pretty well. And so now I have little boxes. Now my Cricut is cutting off. I need to calibrate it again, I guess, because you can see my box is a little uneven, but at least there's no white around the box, and it's a good size for my classic Happy Planner Monthly. Let's just check this out and see how my corners are. Now I could have messed with this a little bit more and with the size of the slice I took to make this. Like, this is a little thick, but I think it's okay. We're not covering the date, so that's good. All right, I'm going to put this in. I have a happy notes that I keep all of my boxes, all my stickers in, and I want to put it in here. First, I'm gonna punch it with my Happy Planner punch. This is the big size, so that I can just stick it in here and it will be available to me whenever I need a sticker. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please let me know. And I will have some more coming out for different size boxes. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.